what happened to the real estate market in 2020, what's going to happen in 2021, and most importantly, what you should do about it. Hey friends, I'm Paul Haley, Toronto realtor, investor, educator, and speaker, and I want to help you think about and invest in real estate. So, Happy New Year! We made it. We made it through 2020. 2021 is off to an interesting start. I hope it will get better. Let's see. Well, let's talk about real estate. Lots of things to talk about today. So 2020 was an unprecedented year. There were lots of, let's say, negative forecasts out there, that really didn't pan out. But let's just say it was an unprecedented year. And TRREB just released the numbers, so I want to dive into that. So let's recap 2020. Sales were up 8.4% year over year. So that's the whole of 2019 versus the whole of 2020 to just over 95,000 sales, which is the third highest year on record. Probably not what most people were expecting. And there was a record year-over-year increase in the month of December. It was up 64.5% to almost 7,200 sales in the month of December. And really that's because the market shifted ahead. We sort of lost 2 months there, March, April, and that sort of moved the whole market ahead. And certainly as a realtor, I've been busy, all the way through the holidays and am still busy. So the average selling price for the whole year reached a new all-time record of almost $930,000, which is up 13.2%, which is an astonishing number year over year. So, as we're going to talk about, primarily that was driven by single-family homes. And there's certainly a difference between now single-family homes, so detached, semi-detached, and even attached single-family homes versus condos. So let's dive into that. It's kind of interesting. All right, so if we just look at December, the average price for the detached homes was up 17.7%. Now that's skewed. That was over 22% in the 905 and just over 8% in the 416. And there's reasons for that, and one of them is houses are actually just more expensive in the 416, so there's less room to go. But even an 8% price increase is big, and certainly when it comes to semis, there were a lot closer in the 416 versus the 905. And as we've talked about, the condo supply was a problem this year. There was lots of condos. Actually, sales weren't, the sales of condos was up a little bit, but there was lots of supply, both through projects coming online and, Airbnb going away, and lots of rentals hitting the rental market and hitting the sale market. And so condos were actually down 2%, the price across the board. They were actually up a little over 6% in the 905, which is only about a third of the market. And they were down almost 5% in the 416, which is a much bigger piece, almost 2/3 of the market. Okay, so that was 2020 in a nutshell. So what do we think is going to happen for 2021? That's a great question. Listen, a lot of pundits got it wrong. A lot of pundits, predicted a crash, and a lot of it was they were looking at mortgage deferrals. There were over 700,000 mortgage deferrals. 30% of those, I'm told, have actually defaulted, and that still hasn't really impacted the market. So, I don't know what's going to happen with that, but what I can tell you is this. Interest rates are going to remain low for the short and medium term, probably, for a very significant period of time. Listen, until we really are going to see growth. Immigration is forecast to come back in a big way, especially in the city of Toronto. We're forecast to see over 600,000 people over the next few years. Toronto is a world-class city. We ranked third in North America, and I think fifth in the world. Just Google it. I did. That's what it told me. And we're creating tons of jobs, and actually lots of jobs in the high-paying tech sectors. And I think we created more jobs last year and the year before than most of the other major centers in the U.S. combined. So that's crazy, right? So I actually read an interesting piece of news. You often just read the doom and gloom, I think because that sells newspapers. But, it was interesting because this one said Canadians saved over $200 billion with a B, more than forecast in 2020. And, primarily because they just didn't have anywhere to spend it, and probably they didn't want to spend it. And savings rates went from like low 5% to upwards of 30% in some periods last year. So what they're saying is that plus people are even saving more this year, and anticipated extra $50 billion than we thought Canadians were going to save, and that's going to help us with the recovery because people have this money and they're going to get out there and spend it. So while I don't have a crystal ball, I'm very bullish on the Canadian real estate market. And really it's because, listen, the main reasons are they are printing money across the globe. Hard assets across the globe are going to keep going up, as wealth can borrow basically free money and invest. And that's going to continue to drive probably stock markets, definitely real estate, probably gold, maybe even, some of the e-coins. And the second big reason is Toronto remains a world-class city, a place where people want to live, and they're going to come back. And the nature of the way we work, the physical space where we're going, is it's going to change. It'll probably skew back because our businesses are going to want people to return to the office, and I think lots of people will want to live close to work in some capacity. And young people in particular do like living in cities when the bars and the restaurants and all that stuff opens up. And maybe if it does soften a little bit, that's a good thing. Because listen, we were spiraling out of control in terms of affordability. Well, we still are, really. Condos are down, but the rest of it is up, up, up. And maybe if there was something to kind of pull that back, that would be great. I don't think it's going to really pull it back, but it's probably just going to slow it down. And listen, if you're looking to buy a house that you can afford, lock in your payments, or even do a variable rate, because honestly rates aren't going to go up anytime soon. But if you can there's some great rates out there, like close to 1%. That's free money in my book. And no matter what happens to the real estate market in the short term, it'll come back in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, right? As long as you believe Toronto is a place people are going to want to live. If you're thinking of selling freehold, normally I would say let's wait till spring. But honestly, buyers are back, so let's talk. If you're thinking about selling a condo, it is a challenging time to sell a condo. If you have to sell it, then let's talk. We have some creative ways. We've done some private deals. We've helped people sell their condo and still get great prices. And if you're an investor, if you're looking to invest, it's actually a good time to invest. People are, the rental market is down, and people are, how can I say it nicely? But they're maybe down on rentals right now. Listen, I've done a whole bunch of rentals over the last 2-3 months, both for myself and for my investor clients. I'm still renting them. I'm still renting them to great tenants. Not maybe as much as we could before, but we're still getting great prices and we're getting great tenants. It does take a bit of time, but we are renting those properties. So, it's not that bad, really. And it may be a good time to develop. Now, building materials, prices are high, and honestly, trying to get a decent contractor, I have some in my pocket ready to help. But, those can be tricky situations. But it's actually a good time to buy and develop. And then when the market comes back, when immigration comes back, boom, you're going to get top dollars in rent. So I hope you find that hugely helpful. Quick market update. 2020 was an interesting year. I think 2021 will continue to be an interesting year. Lots going on. If you want to talk real estate, please shoot me an email, paul@paulhaley.ca. Please leave a comment below and please like this video so I know to make more. And please subscribe. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. Talk soon.